live. Hi. Hi, Jason.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah,
How are you?
yeah, I'm good. Good, thanks. Just watched the end of the football here. So
Oh, it's football day today.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, England we're playing Germany.
Who won?
England,
Oh,
yeah,
yay.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm
good.
not, I'm not a big football fan, but a lot of our neighbours and friends and all that are big.
I mean, if you're European, it's now the thing to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah,
And here in Sweden, I think at 9 or 8 your
yeah,
time, it's Sweden.
yeah. Sweden play a bit later, so but yeah,
Mm.
I'm not a massive football fan, but if it's on and people are watching it, then yeah,
Yeah, I haven't watched it. And because I'm Greek, and Greece is not
yeah,
playing, so
yeah.
I don't have any interest. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, hi and welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. It's not going to be about football. No,
No, definitely not.
no. So, we are going to be talking about websites. And you and I both, we do WordPress.
Yep.
But lately, we have been intrigued by a different platform, Webflow. And I asked you, you want to do some live content together and talk about Webflow? And luckily you said yes.
Yeah, I think we're both in the same boat with that, just learning what Webflow is and if it's something that we could possibly use for clients in the future as well.
That is a question, and that is something that I would like to discuss. I'm just, I just want to share the link to our social media and to the guild also. Let me see here. Pardon us, bear with
Yeah.
me, viewers, our dear viewers. Let's see. I'm gonna put it here. We are live, people, me, and I should have had that link ready before, but okay, we are not. So, yes, now we're here. So we're gonna talk about Webflow, WordPress and Webflow. And we have been talking about it privately, also like in the guild, in the forums. And we are intrigued by it. I am intrigued by it, right?
Yeah.
And what is Webflow? How could we describe it?
Well, for me, I think it could be one of the alternatives to WordPress.
Mhm.
It is basically a website builder, but whereas like these other platforms, they've all got different ways of building the websites. At the end of the day, you're going to get a similar result if you use any of them. Again, depending on what features you want to add to your website. But I think Webflow is just another one of these website builders that are out there. There's so many: Wix, Squarespace, Weebly. There's so many different platforms out there now to build a website. But I think it's they all vary in cost, features, and I think at the end of the day, you need to also decide what it is that you want out of your website as well, to see if it's going to have those the things that you need going forward.
I agree. Hi, George. George is in the chat. Hello, welcome.
Hi, George.
I agree. And yeah, it is a matter of getting to know, like knowing what do we need, what the person that we're going to build the website needs, what the customer needs, and what those platforms offers. Because you said Wix, Squarespace, and all those things. Webflow, as far as I have investigated and searched it, it is kind of a WordPress alternative. I wouldn't say it's a Wix or personally
No,
or
no,
a Squarespace alternative.
no. I think we're going through it more because I'm still learning about Webflow and diving more into it. And I think it has more power than Wix, Squarespace. That you could do a lot more with it, which then comes with its own challenges of actually learning that platform as well.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we have kind of an experience. I don't know how much I've been working years with WordPress. I don't know how much many years you have been working,
Yeah,
but we
I'm
have
on.
an experience.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know everything. Hi, Grimskull. Grimskull is here also.
Oh, excellent.
I cannot say that I know everything, but when someone comes to me and say, okay, I want a website that I want to do that and that and that, I kind of have an idea with WordPress. Okay, WordPress, I need this plugin, you know, how to build it. Webflow, it's like zero, it's blank.
Yeah, no, I was the same. I've got a free account with Webflow, and you get two projects. So the first project I did was actually just went in and used one of their free templates just to see how their templates
Black
yeah.
image, yes.
Yeah. So I use that one just to see how they structure everything, because it is different. It's a new platform. But then I took today I created another one where I'm starting it completely from scratch. So I've got absolutely nothing, blank canvas, and then just working out how it works. Because like you say with WordPress, I think we know it like the back of our hands now. We have our own workflows, so it's like get everything installed, bang, and we straight in and building things. So that comes second nature to both of us now with WordPress, because we've been working with it for so many years. And I think with Webflow, it's going to be more of a learning curve to see how they work.
Exactly, that is what I wanted to say. It has definitely a learning curve, and I have been also to their website, and I have also made an account, and I have done exactly the same as you, the free 2 projects that you have, to learn how it works. And it is, as you say, it's like a page builder directly. Like you don't need to install anything, just a matter of making an account and start building with a sidebar on the side, and you get the margins, the paddings, adding image here, click here, add the title, the text. You have all those different elements. And it creates the code and so on. So it is intriguing, because I have seen more and more developers on YouTube that they say, I have switched from WordPress to Webflow and I'm not going back. So I was like, okay, what is that? Is that real? Is that a marketing process in the background? Is it promotion or is it true? So it's definitely something that I think it's worth investigating.
Yeah, and I've seen a few people, like you say, move over from WordPress to Webflow. So that's what intrigued me as well to investigate this more. And I've been going through they have like a crash course on Webflow as well, and I've been going through some of their training videos as well, just to see what they say, all their different elements, how to use the elements to build the web pages within their platform. And it's quite interesting, because the way they explain some of things, I wouldn't say Webflow is for a beginner.
No, I agree.
You'll get completely lost, because they still talk about some of the CSS and adding classes to various objects so that you can change things across your site, and that's just going to blow everyone's mind. If you're a beginner, they won't know what they're talking about.
Yes, exactly. And that is a very good point that you say, because you need to know CSS to do that. And so one hand, we tell you need to know some CSS and basic HTML concepts, and on the other side, they promote it as like for designers. So a designer need to know those things. It's not that the designer, graphics designer, but many designers have embraced it, in my understanding.
Yeah, I can see why, because the interface is very much like a Photoshop type, graphical interface with some of the way the menus work. So I could see why designers move over, because it follows that type of interface.
Yes.
And that's exactly who I would say Webflow is for. Is people, designers that are building there, but you still need to know some of the other, like you say, CSS and all that as well, to be able to understand why you do certain things.
Yes. And as George says, my main issue with platforms like this is the limitations it might have that I wouldn't know, and the client doesn't get it. They just want X, Y, Z, and they expect us to do it. That's a good point. And we don't know so far the limitations or not for Webflow. So as you say, it's not for beginners. I consider myself not a beginner, completely noob when it comes to Webflow. So it's definitely not something that I would say, yes, I can do it. I watched the video. I sent it to you as well. Can we talk about that video? I don't know
of
if you
course.
watched it, all of it. So yes, they have a very good gallery, video gallery in their website and on YouTube, Webflow, where they have a lot of tutorials and they explain how to use. So they want people to understand. So one of those videos, it is, if I'm not mistaken, that person, I think it's something Geek Pixel Geek, something like that.
Yeah,
he works for
Pixel Geek, I think.
Yeah. And I think, hope I'm not mistaken, he works for Webflow. So he's helping, spread the word. And he was talking about the limitations of Webflow, so that people should know what it offers and how to use those things. And I have written a few things here. For instance, you have 100 static pages limit, where on WordPress there is no limit with the static pages. I have never built 100 pages.
I think 100 static pages it's a big enough limit. If you're going to be building a site that big with static pages, you might need to look to see how you structured your website.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, and maybe Webflow isn't the platform for you if you're going to be going that big.
I mean, to have 100 static pages, then you probably need a blog of some, or I don't know what kind of structure you have, how many elements.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why you would need 100 static pages. I wouldn't want to manage that.
Yeah. So, okay, it is a limitation, but for me, it's not a deal breaker, this one. Okay. But Webflow comes, we should talk about that. It comes with pricing plans, okay? It's not something you install like WordPress and then you have an open platform. You need, if you want to unlock the blogging function, the CMS, the blogging, if you want to blog, you need to pay more. The first tier is only for static pages. You don't have blogging. The next, I think it has 3 plans. Basic. It has more plans. It has also if you are an agency and you want to purchase, but from a personal point of view, if you want to build a website and you want to blog, you need to pay extra per month. They have, I would say it's a premium fee. It's not that cheap. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, I think like when you start off, I think it's something like $16 per month just for the static one, and then the CMS is maybe around 25.
Let me just go. I'm going to open web.
But like you say, it depends on how many sites you want to build as well, because they have the site plans and they also have account plans. And if you're going to be building more than 2 sites, then you need to upgrade your account plan as well. And all of a sudden, if you're building that many sites, you could be paying out quite a lot per month.
Yes, correct. I have it here. Let's see. I'm going to try and share my screen now. Wait, that's a challenge. Share screen. Yes, here. And I'm going to do it. Yes, okay, we're good. We're here. So here we have the basic plans. If you are like for an individual person, not for an agency, you want to build a website for yourself or for one person, for one client, the basic, it's best for a simple site that doesn't need a CMS. CMS is, think of blogging. If you want to blog, you need to go to the highlighted one and pay $16. It's in US dollars per month. And then it has the business, which is, I would say, for e-commerce, maybe?
Yeah, I think they do actually have e-commerce plans as well to add on. So at the top there, you'll see it says site plans, and next to it, it says e-commerce plans.
Oh, yeah, here, correct. Oh, so the e-commerce is completely different. We go to 29 for the standard.
Yeah, so in a way, I think some of their site plans and just the whole pricing can be a bit confusing for people.
Yes. So it's if you are a beginner and you don't know, don't take any projects and don't make any promises unless you have really read carefully what it is. And George says, not for the fussy clients with the hover effects and the timelines. And, well, yeah, maybe there is. Maybe it is possible to do those things. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, there are some.
There are some effects and that you can add to Webflow. There are quite a few different effects. And some of the training videos that I went through today, they actually show you how you can do some of those. But again, it just depends on what type of effects and that you want on the site.
And maybe you need to add some extra code.
There's a few things in their editor where you don't have to add too much code or that. It's just setting it up, but you need to know how to do that.
You need to know where to click, what to to navigate. Yes. So yeah, it can be a bit confusing. Let me see now if I stop. There we are. Then I was listening to that video. So let's say you have the budget and you want to go for the CMS. If you want to blog, or you want to have a news section or something that you want to write, updates, it is what they call collections. You create collections, and the collection is a database. He was explaining it very technically.
Yeah.
And you have on the starter plan, he said, you have up to 50 collections on the CM starter, but you don't have CMS. Maybe there is some sort of It's a bit confusing.
Yeah, it is, because like you say, that they call databases collections, and it's the databases that allows you to add that blogging function and any other data that you want to store to show on your website. You can use a collection for, but as he explained it in the video, it's like a spreadsheet. So you have to go in there and create all the columns that you want to to store the information in. And
so I don't know if I understood it correctly. I'm going to ask you something. If you understood it like this, is it the different collections? Because you said you have like 50 collection items on the starter package and 2,000 on the CMS and 10,000 on the business. Is that like categories?
No. So I think what he means by that is that within your database, it's how many records your database can hold.
Oh, like how many blog posts?
Yeah. So as he was saying in there, like, on the one, you can only have 50. So you can only have 50 blog posts.
Articles, yes. It's not for a blogger. So clients need to know MySQL concept. It's like tables. It was more like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's more like a spreadsheet. It's not. You don't have to know any SQL or MySQL or anything like that. It's all set up within the system. But as I dive more and as you dive more into it, I'm sure we'll work out exactly how it is. But it's not complicated tables like we would know them for WordPress with the WordPress database. I think it is just like you said in the video, it's a spreadsheet where you just store information and it just pulls from that.
And because I haven't tried it yet, we don't have access to that in the free account. Like, do you actually have to go there to write the article? I don't know how.
Yeah, that I'm getting to myself. Like you say, it is, with some of it, it's still a learning experience for both of us.
We're two beginners trying to talk about Webflow.
Yeah, yes. But I think we're kind of seasoned with WordPress. So like for us to even go to Webflow, knowing WordPress and then showing people about Webflow and what we're finding out as we're going in, I think that's it's still valuable. Yes, we don't know everything just yet, but give us a few more weeks, and
exactly.
We'll do an update.
We can do that. We can have it as a show, as our journey from beginner to expert guru of Webflow and everything. But I was thinking, maybe we can discuss it. Who do you think would be a good customer for Webflow, or for whom customer of yours would you maybe try to give Webflow
for me, it's going to be clients that probably are not going to want to change their sites too much, because
Same.
I think for them to know how to change things, I think once it's built, it is a lot easier to edit. It's just the build phase that takes some time to get it all there. But the clients could still go and change stuff, but I would make sure that I trained them properly on how to do any of it, because it's and also I think it depends on the client's website as well. I wouldn't go for a really complicated site. Now I've got some clients that are I've built e-commerce sites for them, and I know that Webflow can do e-commerce, and that's again is going to be something that I'm going to be looking at as well. But some of my client sites, I couldn't build their e-commerce sites on Webflow because we have to do so many other different integrations with suppliers and stock updates and stuff like that. And I don't think Webflow would be able to handle any of that. They do have a lot of integrations, but I don't think they'll have the stuff and the some of the complexity that I need for some clients. I wouldn't dare move them to Webflow.
I totally agree. George says that he will jump on Webflow over the weekend as a coding person. He's a coding monkey, as he said, so you can add input to your next conversation. Definitely.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That would, from someone that knows code and that would
be great.
That'd be valuable.
And
as well.
We talk with George almost on a daily basis. So what I wanted to say is that I agree with who the ideal customer would be, because even if, let's say, the customer has the budget for the e-commerce platform and money is not an issue, let's say, maybe it doesn't offer the same options yet as like some of the standard in the market, like WooCommerce or Shopify. I haven't worked with Shopify, but I know many do, and I guess it's a solid platform. Or what is it, Magento? I don't know, is it still around, Magento?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't worked with that one. I have worked a little bit with Shopify. I've actually moved the client from Shopify to WordPress and WooCommerce.
Okay.
Just because he's a kind of a not-for-profit type organization, and he wanted to add subscriptions and all that type of stuff to his site. And all of a sudden, you try to add that to Shopify, and your monthly cost just skyrockets.
Exactly. That is a good point, because maybe those extra things could exist also in Webflow, but you need to pay extra. But then again, don't forget, okay, WooCommerce might be free, but of course, if you need to add a plugin for a certain function, it could be that you need a premium plugin. It's not like everything is free, but maybe there are so many options.
Yeah, and I think with a lot of them, it depends on what features that you want to add to your site and what the complexity for your don't touch Magento.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I think it depends on the complexity of the shop and stuff like that. WooCommerce and stuff like you can do so much more with it. I've got a client where I'm pulling stock updates from their server, and we're doing a lot more processing on his site, and they also then once people have ordered anything over his website, that gets sent directly to the supplier, but it has to be in a specific format for them to process it. They wanted the CSV file to be in this in a specific format. And again, I don't think I would be able to do that in Webflow.
No, that sounds a bit special. And yeah, for some things, maybe WordPress is one way to go. And especially if you're making a site for a customer, a client that they want to be able to edit themselves, and more or less WordPress is from a user point of view, not from a builder point of view. It could be easy to learn, okay, it's easy to manage, but Webflow might be a bit trickier. So I would say also for a company, a B2B company, that they just want 3-4 pages to promote their company and not have much to do with it, Webflow might be fine.
Yeah.
Because maybe you will agree with me, the people, the companies, the customers that they want a website, that they don't want to think about it, are the ones that are maybe create problems when you talk about updates. They don't understand updates. So that would be a benefit. That is a pro for Webflow.
Yeah, I think because you don't have to do any updates as such, like you have to do with WordPress. But anything like a platform like Webflow, you also then stuck with the features that they have. You can't add to it if they don't have that feature. Then potentially you're never going to be able to add that unless they add it down the line when they develop that platform.
That's correct. So if the customer after 3 years say, okay, it's fine, we have a nice website, but now we want to add that as well. Yeah, we cannot do that. But they do have a function, Webflow, of exporting it if you want to move your website to a WordPress.
Yeah, so they have from what I read on their website is that they have a way of like importing like your WordPress blogs and stuff like that. They can import it into Webflow. I haven't seen them say that they can go from Webflow to WordPress. I'm sure I've used.
Okay, maybe it's that. Maybe I'm confused because I'm just reading so many things. But I will look into it exactly to see what you can do. I think you can do it, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yes. But the updates is definitely something. I mean, if I have someone that wants a website and I know that those people, they are not going to bother, they just want to have something that works and be there, maybe Webflow could be a nice solution. Similarly, how about that? Yeah,
yep, you are correct. I'm originally from South Africa, moved to the UK in '98. So I've been here now, a long time, 23 years almost. So long time. But yeah, I try to keep my South African accent, but
I couldn't spot that, but George can because George. I don't know if you want to say it yourself, but. He's probably typing it.
Okay.
He was born there, yes.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I lived in Pretoria, in South Africa, and I had family in Durban, as well. So yeah, it's been a long time. Okay.
He moved to Cyprus in 1999. Yes.
Yeah. No, I've been to Cyprus. I love Cyprus. We went there. My dad actually owned a flat out there in Paphos.
Paphos is nice.
Yeah, so we went there at least once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak Afrikaans. I used to be able to say a few words. I left when I was too young to really become properly fluent in it because, as some people will know, in South Africa we kind of got two main languages, English and Afrikaans, and there's plenty other languages out there as well. But I was from the English side, so I never spoke Afrikaans that much. So I could understand it and talk a little bit, but I wasn't fluent.
George, when we speak, sometimes we speak English, and he has an accent. He has a great accent. So yes, and he lives in Paphos. Yes, we have all been to Paphos.
Oh yeah, yeah, I love it there.
It's nice.
I haven't been back in years, but I need to get out there again.
So. We got distracted now from the geography.
And Georgia, I do understand some coding. I actually did computer science for my degree, but I'm not a coder. I can kind of understand it and be that kind of in between person.
Hi, Kevin. Yes, and probably you have a better understanding than me because I did some COBOL and BASIC back then in 1999, and we did one semester. It was DBase.
Okay, yeah.
But and then I had a course when I did my master's with object-oriented programming, just theory of it, and so that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, Impartial Geek is here. Kevin is here. Hi, welcome everyone. Hi, David.
Hi.
So I was talking about, I don't remember what I was talking about. If we want to go back to subject, we got distracted, but it is a matter of, I don't think there is something, I have written WordPress versus Webflow as a title, but I don't think it's something that you can easily compare.
No, I think there's use cases for either one.
Our Papa Smurf. Yes.
But yeah, I think there's use cases for either one, and I think, as we both agree, we're going to be diving more into Webflow in the coming.
We can definitely have it as a journey, as you say. Like we can, okay, what did we do this month? I managed to add a header, stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand how to add a blog to it.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, I have started to actually rebuild. I took a real life website. I cannot do all the functions of that website because we're using WordPress with a lot of functions and the CrocoBlock and everything. But I said, okay, I'm going to take it and I will try to rebuild it, clone it as much as I can in Webflow. See what happens. And by doing that, I'm going to learn, okay, I have done that in WordPress. How do I do that here? And we can...
I'm doing exactly the same. Like I said, I used one of their template ones just to see how they've structured it. But I will, the other free project, I will take a site as well and that I've built in WordPress and see how easy it is to build in Webflow.
Yes.
I think that way we'll definitely learn what the differences are.
Yes, and the whole discussion about WordPress and Webflow and having to deal with clients or not clients, people's websites recently and talking to them and seeing what their needs are, it has made me, okay, no Wix. I'm not going to choose Wix ever, but I could say like something as Squarespace even might have its place for a certain target group, because it offers the, you don't have to think about updates. This is something very important. When I have a person, a customer, someone that it's a website that they don't want to deal with those things, that I see them that they want, you have people calling you or sending you an email. Why isn't that working? Why isn't that working? And you just see it was an update that you need to do.
Yeah.
If they don't understand that world, it can just create frustration. So maybe a platform like Webflow or even Squarespace can be suitable. Squarespace is way more limited.
Yes, it is. It doesn't. I don't even think it has many integrations. If you wanted to add things to it, you're very much stuck in that platform. You're talking about updates. I had a client that I've ended up completely rebuilding a whole new site for him, but his site was built in 2013, and the version of WordPress he was running was from 2013. I checked; it had never been
3 point something, was it?
Yeah, something like that, and it hadn't been updated in like 8 years.
I have questions.
Nothing. I don't. And he didn't even have a proper admin login. So when I looked at it, it was like, well, this whole interface looks very different. And then I did some more, delving into it, and found out that nothing had been updated since it went live in 2013.
I have questions. Was it never hacked, that website? I mean,
it didn't seem to be, no. But to be honest with you, there wasn't a lot there to be hacked for because it was a very basic website. I think maybe 3 pages, didn't have a blog on it or anything like that.
Okay.
But, nothing. I couldn't even add things to it because WordPress and all that was just too old for all the latest stuff. So we just ended up rebuilding the whole thing from scratch.
Because if you do like all those updates from 2013, you will end up. I'm thinking widescreen of death here.
Yeah, it would take longer to try to update it than just to build it from scratch.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Yeah, but like I was surprised as well that it had never been hacked or anything like that because everything on it was just so old.
I get nervous talking about size. Okay, I would say we should definitely, on the next time we chat, continue this and see what we have discovered, what we have learned. Do we like it? Do we don't like it? But what I want to what I want to focus more is who is Webflow for. This is what I want to.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be people that have owned a website before, potentially, and as they say themselves, and a lot of people have said, it's for designers. It's people that have got experience with some of the coding, CSS, and understand that, because when you go through a lot of their tutorials, they actually talk about adding classes to different elements and stuff. And your beginners are never going to understand that. They're not going to understand why you need to do that. It's just going to be too complicated for them, especially if they're looking to build their website themselves. If they're going to build it themselves, then go to Wix or Squarespace, because it will be easier for them to start there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a designer that has no technical knowledge, go study some CSS first and then go there, because it's not as simple. It's a bit advanced. It's an advanced building platform. So yeah, I don't have any more notes. These are all my notes here.
Yeah, no, I like I said earlier, I've been going through their Webflow crash course. I think they call it Webflow 101 or something like that. So they're going, I'm going through all the basics just to see what trading they offer, and just looking to see what they say all the different elements are, because they talk about sections and containers and div blocks, and when I start hearing that, I'm like, it needs to be someone that's more experienced with building websites and understands this terminology. Because if you don't understand the terminology, you're not going to understand why those elements are called those names for a start, but where to actually use them and why they're used in those situations.
Yes, and maybe we can look into also what kind of code does it generate. Does it make fast websites? Does it make slow website? Is it more optimized? Because WordPress can be very fast, but it can be very slow depending how you build it.
Yeah, so I think from what I've seen on there, they use a service called Fastly as their CDN. Yeah, so that it does load fast. And if you're definitely going to be using just a static part of it, I think it will load very fast. Again, I think it depends on how much other things you add to it, like all their different animations, and because that's always going to slow the site down.
Yeah. And if they're using extra services in order to generate a fast website, then it makes sense why they charge more and more and more with every plan, because they need to maintain and support those things. So you need to pay for those services. So
yeah, but from what I can see as well is that you can actually use Webflow to build the site, and you can actually export the code as well, so you can actually host it yourself if you wanted to. It's a very interesting concept in that you can have them host it, or you can host it yourself, because it generates the code and you can download that code. I don't understand how that affects the pricing of it though, because
if you're still paying the same, let's stay with them, unless you are someone that has, I don't know, an Uber hosting server something, and you have the budget, and I don't know. So George, yes, you will help, and you just give me the weekend. George is on it. He's going to investigate it.
He's going to give us a report next week about it.
Yes. And as HTML, I don't know.
Yeah, from what I see, I think it is HTML and CSS, but it's something again that I'm looking into as well. It's from what I've
investigation. Yes.
Yeah, from what I've read, that's what it does. But there's still a lot more. I think this is just the start of this Webflow journey.
Scratching the surface of it, yes.
I think the longer we play around with it and learn more about it, we'll be able to understand more about how it actually does everything.
Yes. Interesting. That's very interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is. Scott is here in the chat. I hope I said hi to everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. Before we wrap things up, Jason, where can people find you? What do you do? Where are you?
So I've got my website is just jasonkruger.com. I have a YouTube channel as well, which is just jasonkruger.com/YouTube, and that will just direct you to the channel. As I'm still building it myself, and hopefully within the next few weeks I will get the magic 100 subscribers, so I can actually get a
yes, go subscribe so he can get the custom URL, guys. Help him out. Yes.
So almost there, but yeah, I help clients build websites, membership sites, kind of all the online marketing side of things. So I do a lot of the tech, because a lot of my clients just don't understand the tech side of things, and that's kind of in my wheelhouse. So I help them with a lot of their online marketing tech.
Membership site. That's very interesting. We will talk privately. I have to ask you something. Okay.
So yeah, I do all of that, and then my YouTube channel just it's going again into stuff about WordPress membership sites, and all of that as well, because that's ultimately I'd like to be able to teach people more as well, rather than just doing the implementation side of it all the time.
Great. That's what I'm trying to do here. Spread the awareness about WordPress and everything. We are on a mission, Jason.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you use Elementor. I use Beaver Builder, and that's another discussion we can have as well.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So yes, go to Jason, go to his channel, subscribe and everything. Like here, subscribe if you haven't as well on my channel here, or like the page, follow if you're watching on Facebook. George is using Divi. He's a Divi magician. Let's say he knows.
I have a few clients. I have a few clients on Divi as well.
Yeah, but I'm sticking with Elementor.
Yeah, I'm Beaver Builder.
We have all the Beaver Builder, Beaver. We have all the builders here. Okay, we can have a workshop sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you very much.
It was a great discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You sure did. I'm sure you did. And
yeah, no, we'll definitely have an update on this in the near future as well.
We will keep you updated. Okay, thank you everyone, and I will see you. We will see you on the interwebs around here. Yes. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.